All right, so I'm sure a lot of people have heard the phrase, you have to give up control to gain control in the golf swing, which sounds all well and good, but what in the world does that mean, and how is that supposed to be done, and what is control, and what are you giving up? So I think a better way to think about it is you need to stop trying to impose your will, your idea, onto the tool that you're using. So whatever tool you pick up, it's got some inherent property. It's got a mass. It's going to swing inherently at a certain pace. So if you're just swinging this back and forth, there's only one pace that happens at. So what then is giving up control? Well, giving up control is you are no longer forcing your idea upon a tool. What you're doing is responding to the inherent nature of a tool. So if I just take and swing this, and I really put my attention on what pace does that happen at, if I let that turn around, how fast does that start back down, and I start to attune my body to that swinging motion, you can see now that I've become synchronized with the club. I haven't decided my swing is I shift like this, I go like this, I do all these things. The only way that I can develop what's called timing is to be attentive to what the club is doing by its own nature. So if you just take your club and just start it swinging back and forth like this, and just move with the club. So you're just moving with the club. This one hand, so you're not forcing anything, you're not trying to hit the ball, you're just moving with the club. And now I'm going to take two hands, I'm going to continue to move with the club and just find this nice tempo. And the whole time I'm feeling where the club head is the whole time in this. So now I'm just going to take that timing, keep that in my body, and now move through it like that. And you'll see it's a very different feeling. I'm not trying to hit the ball. I'm not trying to add any power. I'm just being responsive to the pace that the club head swings and the way basically gravity works with mass. So I throw it up there, collect gravity, basically collect energy based on gravity, and then it starts to drop, and then I just basically turn that vertical force around a little bit. So it drops. As it's dropping, I change the direction of that energy from there to there. So it's really a sort of leaning against it and moving it around a curve. Let me show you again. Doesn't take a ton of energy if you become completely compliant with this. Now there is one thing that makes this easier and will give you more power. And the thing that's funny about a golf club is it doesn't quite weigh enough to signal to your body that it needs to use its big muscles. So if you really want to have power, working with something heavy trains your body. So that's what this is designed for. Basically, it's about setting up all the structures of a swing in terms of how your hands and arms should work and the plane. And then the mass, now you don't want to, again, same story now, don't impose your idea of a swing onto this. Respond to how this naturally wants to swing. So one thing you'll notice that's different, which are parts of a good, two things you'll notice right away. Your takeaway has to be forceful, but it's not going to be fast. So that's an odd conflict, but you're not going to flip the club away. You're going to use your mass to get it going. So you're going to heave it back, and then you also will then not move quickly here because it's not really possible. So just feel the weight of this and start moving with it and see how your body becomes efficient in moving this. So if you try to use a lot of force to control how this is being swung, you'll feel like you're out of balance It's a lot of work to do, but if you just start moving with it and letting gravity assist you, you'll find that you can use about a third as much energy to produce the same motion. And that's what you want in your golf swing. So work with this until you tire to some extent, and then your body will start finding an efficient way to do it. And when you get that down, then you have what it takes to make a good golf swing, where you're not trying to put 100% of energy into it and you don't have any sense of balance or control. So again, it goes back to the original story. You give up control, which is forcing your will and idea upon the object you're swinging in order to gain control. So it's like any relationship in life, you have to work with the thing you're in relationship to, whether it be your trainer or your friend or your wife or your golf club. You work with it, get yourself synchronized with it, be responsive to it, and that's how you really become good. So that's what feel is, that's what timing is, that's what touch is. It's learning to be responsive to the inherent nature of your tool that you're swinging. So we'll do one more little one here. See, it's very little energy. That's just a very partial little pitching wedge. But even that is 119 yards with like 30% effort. So that's how you do it. The more synchronized you become, the more efficient you become, the less energy you waste, the more energy ends up going into the ball.